Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we are back for a brand new video. It's actually going to be a brand new series on the channel. Today I'm actually joined by a special guest and I'll allow him to introduce himself right now. Over to you.
Hello everybody, I am Snagsy, aka the Snagster, aka Mark, or whatever you know me by, from the We Welcome the Chase podcast. Good evening, hello.
Oh, yes. Nice plug. It will be in the description. Make sure to go and subscribe. I'm over there as well. Today I just thought I was wanting to bring something on the channel. It's going to be more of a series. It's going to be continuing throughout probably the entire season. I think probably Snags. Maybe every week, yeah. So it's going to be every week. We're going to be talking a lot about the SPFL. Obviously, going to be talking about Rangers. It's the team we both support, I think. Maybe. I think so. A lot of the feedback I've got in the channel recently is, can you talk about some of the other teams, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to incorporate that. But today I think it's mostly just going to be about Rangers, because obviously the season's not really kicked off yet. There's no too many major stories. And there's been a couple for Rangers this week. So I think, where do you want to start this week? Where do you want to start with the very first subject on the channel?
We could talk about FC Niederkorn, if you wish.
Have you seen how many people shared that thing when I was making fun of them 2 weeks ago? Oh, yeah.
Things you wish you never did.
Yep, that's one of them. That's right up there. Honestly, see, every time I see it, I can't even pronounce it. I'm making a fool of their name. I'm saying we're going to beat them 12-0.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, I've obviously made a video, which most of you guys would have saw already. So I'll pass over to Snags, and maybe you want to just sort of articulate a wee bit better what you think would happen with the game, and we'll see what they say.
Well, first off, I had a feeling something wasn't right before the game. You know, where you're just like, we've got these new players coming in. Pedro saying that he's going to play, at least one of the new Mexican signings, stuff like that. And I thought, preemptive, I was like, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. No, things will be fine. So I did that stupid wee dance. I don't know if you saw the video that I put on Twitter.
Glorious! No, I won't give in till I'm victorious.
As far as kind of tactics go, I couldn't work it out. It was sort of the same as Ibrox, where they were relying on Cranshaw to kind of ping the ball about, which he was sort of doing well. But the only kind of real tactic that was deployed in the game was the fullbacks getting forward, but it wasn't really adding much value. But I think my summarization of the whole debacle was that we were crossbar champions. We hit the crossbar 3 times, and it was just shocking. The defence at the free kick for the second goal. I mean, what the fuck was going on there? How did Wes not get a hand to it? I mean, obviously he's expecting a deflection, but he should be moving in the direction of the ball anyway and sort of preempting it. But there was a lot of backlash on Windass, Josh Windass, your favourite.
Yeah, Bangle Boy. Hashtag it lads in the comments.
Exactly.
I love that. I love that.
Which some of it was merited. But when he went in for that header, I was thinking, like, as soon as he went for it, I thought the ref's going to blow his whistle here, because the ref had been doing it all fucking game. And I was surprised that, maybe Pedro hadn't said to him, don't fucking jump for any headers, you daft striking cunt. It was clear that he was trying to redeem himself after, and obviously hit the crossbar himself. But it was an unfortunate chain of events, which and the shocking thing is it wasn't a surprise that we did get knocked out. To be honest with you, given how we approached the game and how it ended up. So that's that.
Yeah, even in the first game, like I was saying in my match vlog, the first half was perfect, but as you can see in the match vlog, in the second half, I'm saying they're starting to grow into the game a wee bit too nicely for me. And I was like, and I got a lot of hate in the comments, so I was like, oh, it's comfortable, blah, blah, blah. And turned out it really wasn't, like.
But what was Morelos actually doing? What was his role? I didn't get it.
No, it just seemed to I didn't think he was. Sorry, I didn't think he was really even involved barely in the game at all. And from what I was watching, like, was he like running in behind? Was he to get the ball at the front? Like, he just seemed to be doing different things every time. And I was just like, we paid him. Was it $1 million for him? 1 million, I think.
Something like that.
To score some goals, and I was just like, maybe try and get near the goals. It's kind of all and done with, I suppose, but we didn't want to just turn it into a fool of that, But I'm still really disappointed. It's kind of hurt for a wee while.
I agreed. And, a positive that we can take from this is that Eduardo Herrera and Carlos Pena have been number 2 and number 3 top scorers in Mexico for the past 4 seasons. I mean, that's something to look forward to when the two of them are match fit.
Exactly. I've seen like a lot of people washing their hands already with Dalcio and everything. Like, obviously, he didn't have a great game, but I think it's way too early to say send them back, cut his loan short. I didn't really agree with all that stuff. It's like hating on the new players. Just give them time.
I mean, for Dalcio in particular, I think he is trying to play at a certain tempo that the game isn't at. So it's
There's
making him
mismatch.
look a little bit. It's making him look a little bit sort of amateur a wee bit, I think, and that's what people are focusing on. But once he gets used to it, I think maybe he could be an important player for us. But time will tell.
But we'll move on. It's on the past now. We can officially close the European door.
Aye, 6 years to get there, 6 days to get out.
That's the title. That's it. Right. What else has been in the subject? Anything else that's grabbed your eye that's sort of that you want to discuss on the first episode?
We can talk briefly about the EBT debacle if you wish.
Yeah, of course. That's obviously gaining a lot of weight. I'm getting tweeted in that quite a lot, so it's probably best we do address it slightly. Do you want to kick off and then I'll sort of chip in?
Sure, no worries. So basically, the crux of the outrage is that HMRC won the Supreme Court ruling, which basically the crux of it is that it has been decided that EBTs are taxable. So what that means is that any player that has had an EBT basically now owes tax on that EBT. That is it. With regards to the cheating statements and stuff like that, it's a load of shite. I mean, the argument is would that player have signed for the club if they hadn't been offered an EBT? Which is something that, only they'd be able to answer.
Individual cases, aye.
And also the SFA's issued a statement saying that they're not going to take further action because they already had an independent inquiry, which QC Lord Nimmo Smith was in charge of, and he basically ruled that there was no sporting advantage and there would be limited punishments available and limited scope for any appeal should they try to do so. And our neighbours at Celtic Football Club, I say neighbours, they're not really neighbours, they're kind of polar opposites.
Yeah.
So like, when you turn magnets around, you kind of get them quite together. It's a bit like that. They've come out and, SFA, Peter Lewell, has come out and said, no, we're not going to do anything. But Celtic, Peter Lewell, has said, I'd like a re-review into this. So there's a bit of a kind of a blockage there. So I'm not too sure how that's going to pan out. But the bottom line is there was no cheating. Get over it. It just means that basically players have got to pay some tax. That's it.
That's it. And I think you've kind of just summed up because a lot of people's been sort of confused because obviously I've got quite a younger demographic as well, and they've been coming to me and asking, we're going to lose our titles. I think we can both kind of guarantee, I think we can officially say no, we won't be getting stripped of any titles. I think we can both say that. So if you're younger and you're not really sure, just relax. It's all right.
I definitely, because basically all this is allowed. And one thing I just want to point out is I am disappointed by the club and Club 1872 for not making some kind of statement on it, because basically what this ruling has allowed is people like Alec Thompson, Angela Haggerty, Phil McGulla, whatever his fucking name is, free names, John James, all these fucking Rangers haters to come out and basically say what they want unchallenged. And that to me isn't a good thing, because the club and Club 1872 are there to protect the fans. The club's PR and Club 1872's supporters' voice are there for that very purpose. Just come out and say, this is what the ruling means, and this is what they can and can't do, and that's it. And people can read that for reference. And like you say, the younger guys can have a look at it and say, oh, actually, that makes total sense now, and I feel totally at ease. What I don't like is the media. The media have been allowed to portray Rangers fans as enemies. And I was talking to Simi about this the other night. There's going to be, if this continues, there's going to be an incident where somebody attacks somebody in a Rangers shirt.
100%, yeah.
Because they're deemed as an enemy that's done something wrong. They've cheated through all these years and all that sort of shit. And it's it's terrible. And I think that needs to be nipped in the bud ASAP.
Exactly. You're basically painting us, Rangers fans, as villains. So they're right, but we're wrong. We're dirty cheaters, blah, blah, blah. And that's just going to cause incidents, arguments in pubs, blah, blah, blah. That's how it's all going to boil off.
Yeah.
And just like you're saying, it's really disappointing. No one's just came from Rangers Club at all. Like all these people that spotted these new shares, all this stuff is not just say, right, listen, we understand, and just calm the fans and reassure them, because they're searching for results. You see it, like my Twitter's blowing up all the time. They're looking for just anything, just to guarantee for the club, eh? And I just think it's been really disappointing. Not one person has stood up and said, this is what's happening. Everybody just relax. We know we've done something wrong, but it's not going to result in like stripping titles, blah, 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 all that stuff. Really. I think that's the way it should have been done. And I could have been nipped in the bud like the day off. Like, if you'd have just said, but now because you leave it, it's gathering momentum. You see, like, fucking Stan Collymore and everything like this. All these people, if it's got no information, just tweeting it just to get a few retweets and everything like that, just to pick on it. It's just silly. No one likes us. We don't care. Well, that's not me again.
That was cheese. That was absolute cheese.
You ken what time it is. It's that time to get some of that moolah. 3, 2, 1. Sponsor break. And we're back, because obviously we will be talking about other SPFL teams. I know a lot of you guys are like Hearts, you want to talk about their signings, like Lafferty and all this stuff, and you think they're going to challenge Hibs, blah, blah, blah. We will start talking about the near to the season when sort of major things start happening. This is obviously just a first little dip in the water to give you guys an opinion, so you can fire down your recaps, let us know anything you want us to talk about, and smash a like button, lads. You knew it was coming, Snags. I've actually seen the last podcast, the We Welcome Chase podcast. I'd noticed you've done this. You're like, drop it down below, and I was like,
fucking right, mate. It's got to be done. We need to get the listeners and the watchers involved. You know what I'm saying? They have to contribute. And actually, we had a wee Celtic fan pop up today.
Really?
Who gave a wee bit of banter. Said he was enjoying the podcast and that. And I was like, "Aye, mate, fucking good for you." Because basically he was challenging me, saying that Celtic got beat by FC Carrier Bag over two legs, which obviously they didn't. And he was just correcting me. I was like, "Mate, I can't always get it right. Most of the time I do, you know."
No.
But
I'm currently 0-14 for predictions on the internet. I'm killing it.
Fucking on then. Yeah. One thing we should discuss before we sign off is Graham Dorrans has been announced.
Oh, that's great. Has it been officially announced now?
Yeah, officially announced, mate. Officially announced.
1.5 mil. I heard he was doing his medical and that earlier on. That's actually quite tidy. I'm really, really happy. I think that's the one player, apart from Ryan Jack, because everyone knows Ryan Jack's my spirit animal. That'd be really cool. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know?
It's just the slow zoom. I can already see it something in there.
Your ass better call somebody.
That's the thumbnail. I think he's one of the players. I think Tattoo Stu and that we were talking about in the last podcast as well. Like, this is the player I think we've really needed, somebody creative, because obviously Nico is great, and I actually called for him not to play in the second leg of the Nidacon game. Because I don't know if you know, like, obviously I've got like affiliation towards Tottenham, always have done. And I remember him like 10 years ago when he was like fit. And the way Redknapp worked him is you play him one game, you rest him the next game, and that's how you keep him fresh. You didn't ever really play him because he sort of declines, and that's how he injured his knees. And I thought this is someone we knew we could slip in there when Crancher doesn't need to be forced to play every game. And I think he's going to be absolutely top notch, if I'm honest with you. Do you think? What do you think about the Wallace situation? Actually, I just want to get your thoughts on that. Obviously, because you're a bit more professional than that to me. I was kind of saying a wee bit harsh things, and maybe I was just in the hanging at the moment. I just never saw a reaction from him when the first goal went in. I didn't see him rallying the troops and anything. He just kind of looked a wee bit. His body language didn't look right to me. I just wondered, do you read anything into that at all? Or
there's been a lot of debate around, is Lee Wallace a capable captain? I mean, we don't obviously see what happens in the dressing room, and I think that's key to his appointment as captain, because otherwise, why would he be? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I get that on the pitch he's not really a emotional kind of guy. Some people are just like that naturally, but as a Rangers captain, I think it's 100%. You have to be an emotional guy. You have to be the guy that's fucking geeing people on, shouting. You know, I mean, Clint Hill, God rest his soul, left now. You know what I mean? But he was the kind of guy that epitomised that during certain games, because he was always shouting across the back line, organising people, telling people what to do, telling them where they wanted them to be. That's what a Rangers captain should be. A Rangers captain should be going up and chastising the fucking players for making stupid mistakes, whatever, you know. And that's what you expect. So for me, you know, I love Lee Wallace to bits, because obviously he stuck by us through all the leagues and all the shit that was going on, and he deserves something off the back of that, and I think that is it. But I think as time's running out, I think we need a leader on the pitch as opposed to a leader in the dressing room.
I completely agree, because I get like sort of stigma that I hate Lee Wallace, and I didn't actually hate him. I actually really love everything he's done for the club. I always say that. It's just, it only gets you so far. Like, everyone says he deserves this and everything, but I'm like, I just want to see. I would love nothing more than for him to play like as good as he did against the part-timers like 2 seasons ago, 2 seasons ago. I love that, but he's just not doing it. I'm just looking for someone like a Barry Ferguson. Even Amoruso wasn't even the captain, but he would shout and scream in people's face if anyone gave a silly foul like Windass does. But they put their heads down and they walked away, and I was disappointed when the first goal went in. I never really saw anyone sort of cheer, and when the second game went out, everyone just looked like that, just couldn't believe it, and I just thought I was really disappointed. That's what it is.
Aye, agreed.
Do you see anyone in the current squad that's like could potentially grow to be a captain role? Is there anyone in the current team that you would say that you could see?
I think for me, Kenny Miller.
Kenny Miller, not King Kenny.
Kenny Miller's that guy. I mean, Dorrans obviously is fresh in the squad, and he would have to. And a lot of people are saying Bruno Alves, but you know, I get that he's an experienced guy. and he's a commanding big chap, which is obviously, you know,
Yes.
the kind of criteria you're looking for in a captain. But I think he has to earn it.
I just want to sum up, because a lot of people have been asking, do you think Ryan Jack should be captain? Obviously, it's directed at me. I've been getting that quite a lot. And I just want to sort of back up what you just said. Nobody deserves to walk into Rangers, a team like Rangers, and just be handed the badge. Like you said, I think I commented in the last podcast that give it to Kenny for a year, because obviously I love King Kenny, but I don't think he's going to be at the club like forever. So there is a tick in. Give it a year and then see who the real leader on the park is after a year and say, right, maybe just hand it off to someone like a Jack or an Alves or a Dorrans, something like that. But you can't just walk into a team like Rangers and expect it to be handed the captain's armband. That's just my opinion anyway. Just
to say that the T-shirt behind me there, the "We Are the People, We Have the Power," that's a Rangers Lottery T-shirt. And for anybody that doesn't know what Rangers Lottery is, it is the key to Rangers having the best youth squad in the Premier League. Not saying that we don't have pickings of that now, but we want to be competing with teams like Celtic, and the only way we can do that is to invest in the youth team. And the easiest way you can do that is sign up for the Rangers Lotto. You can do it for like £1 a week or whatever. You can win some money, but at the same time you're donating to the Rangers Youth Development Company that hands over checks every year to the club to basically spend on youth development. So if you haven't done it, do it now. You can do so at www.rangerslotto.co.uk. I kind of do a thing with my hands like you do. But also, if you make a donation of £15, you can get one of these fantastic T-shirts. There's 3 of them. One of them is white and it says 100% loyal on it. And the other one is red and it says Made in Glasgow. So all of them, just fucking get them all.
Buy them all.
Go bananas, and you can make the next Barry Mackay.
Oh, you fucking bastard. That's it. First and last episode. That's it.
That's it. Name me a podcast.
So yeah, if you did enjoy this very first episode, make sure to be smashing the like button, drop a comment and let me know any of the subjects you want me to talk about next week. Big thank you to Snags for joining on, and we'll be continuing this going. We might get other guests on in the future, but I'm actually just really happy to get Snags on the channel, build this up and see what you guys think of it. Any other questions or anything you want to finish off with, Snags?
No, mate, just subscribe to the We Welcome a Chase podcast.
Yeah, thank you for watching, and bye-bye.